Well, here we go. 5 series, 5 weeks in a row, and we get to MSI. Let's get this show on the road.
These beautiful things that I've
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of The Rendezvous. It is a quiet day actually out here in New York because the Knicks game kicks off here in like 2 hours, give or take. So it's weirdly quiet along the river, which is kind of like nice. It's like a calm before the storm. It's also been pretty calm this past week, all things considered. I mean, we didn't have much going on. I didn't catch any player streams, which I didn't think they were going to stream this week. It's playoffs time. You assume most people are probably going to chill, relax, not do much. Even though I did see Sven streaming immediately after their C9 series the other day, which was interesting. But no, we've kind of been dark for the most part on social media, other than our normal content pieces, which, speaking of that, let's dive into something a little bit further that I discussed on Monday before we get into the series. If you missed the full video there, I would recommend go checking it out. It is all the LCS social media, or LTA social media data for all teams, like all content that they have put out on YouTube, YouTube Shorts, and TikTok. And the numbers were not great, and it kind of gives a holistic picture of where things are, but I have the ability to break this out specifically for 100 Thieves and talk about this in much more depth, and I'll put the numbers up here. For those that have watched 100 Thieves from the beginning, and even though I obviously was not a fan until 2020 because I had my team in Optic at the time, and I mean, these honestly are lower numbers than what Optic had back then, and like we were complaining that we didn't have any content. Like back then, I remember a vlog series getting about 10,000 average views for us, give or take. The Heist was like one of the peaks. Like you had Legends, you had Heist, and you had Liquid Squad series that were like peak content in League of Legends. Episodes of the Heist would get like 200 some thousand views each and every time, as it's basically like Nate Shot entering his foray into League esports. Like, yes, the adventures of the team, the results of the team, and obviously them doing well in their first split, like, shouldn't be discounted in any way, shape, or form. But like, the journey of the content was beautiful because you got to watch him learn about League and like get into it and experience that foray as he comes of his own in terms of ownership there. The numbers that you're seeing here are pretty much the remnants of, hey, we lost all of the creators, all the things that kind of made 100 Thieves League content specifically good. And now you're just left with players. And this is not a slight to the players, but nobody's going to tune in to voice comms or a docu-series really for teams that they're not interested in the individual players and personalities, which is a league-wide issue, not just obviously for 100 Thieves players. I do want to shout out the cross content, like the content that we did that crossed over between Valorant, Call of Duty, and League of Legends. To my knowledge, we are the only org that did any sort of content like that all year, and the numbers are really good to reflect that. Upper 5 figures is really good in the modern YouTube landscape for gaming. Like, gaming content does not get that many views on the League side or like anything that involves League. Now, I know that a lot of that is carrying off the backs of Valorant and Call of Duty, but you're cross-pollinating. You're getting some of those fans to potentially watch League stuff because, like the debate video immediately, you have all the other pros debating whether League is the hardest game or not. And that will make people who watch 100 Thieves be like, damn, we have a team that other players are sitting here, like the people that we follow are sitting here admitting like, yeah, like they got the harder game. Like it is harder to be the best in their thing than ours. And like that is how you get other people into this thing. And I loved every minute of it. That was like our peak content of the year so far. But beyond that, the recommendation I would give, and like the thing that I've said over and over again here, is that we need a storyline besides just the players when it comes to our content on YouTube. And we also need to upload to TikTok and upload short form content that's not just skits, or if it is skit, like at minimum, the thing that I've said there that I'll say here is like we should have a weekly video out on the main channels previewing the match that is coming up. Like you should at least tell people once when your game is going to be played next, and not just rely on the LTA tweets and like the stuff that they're putting out, because it's not great, if we're being honest. You have to promo things. You have to let people know. Like the majority of the content that pops on my individual channel is just telling people information, and then I give my opinion on it as well. But like, you got to tell people when these games are going to happen. That way they know when to tune in, not just like the morning of, or like, oh, like I get their like joke tweets that are to be made. There's videos that could be made that like joke on, say, we're facing Shopify this weekend, talking about like Sniper's rematch against Fudge. Absolutely. Also tell them that the match is on Sunday at 4 o'clock. Like, you need to do that type of stuff. But I mean, I think my feelings are well known at this point. I'm not going to beat a dead horse that I think we need a creator on the League of Legends front. The lack of Yasuo on the channel really hurts, and there's no way to replace that. And the new fresh like batch of creators that we brought in, all of them are great, but none of them follow League of Legends, and none of them can help recover the League YouTube side of things. That I just don't know the pathway forward on that without that being a thing. Like you got to sign a League creator in some capacity. It's the answer. Always has been somebody that genuinely cares and also understands the social media landscape. Yeah, they got to be in there. Beyond that, I don't really think there's any news from this week or really anything that we can talk about besides the upcoming series itself, which is a big one. It is the rematch that we have been waiting for against Shopify. And yeah, I mean, this should go the other way this time around. I know that we lost the first series. I'm not denying the fact that Sniper definitely got put in a body bag. Like, Fudge was the star player of that series, but that bird came within like 2 inches of my face. What in the world? I don't know if that was caught on camera or if it was like just outside of it, but that bird came up to like here. But I think the series very much rests in Sniper's hands. If Fudge is allowed to get ahead in the ways that he was before and become this unstoppable tank, even in a best of 5, yeah, like he's going to be able to take over this series. And there's nothing Quid or FBI or River can do if Sniper's giving up these positions and we are dying in fights prior to them happening. River, another point of contention, I would say. Like, even though I think, like, overall, like, you look at how the last series went, I would say he still played, like, better than Contracts for a good portion of that series. We got caught so many different times in that best of 3 right before objectives, whether that's pushing out for vision and not respecting where they could be or assuming that they wouldn't be there, or just simply, like, not having more numbers with us when we need to. Like, I don't know what the answer is. I'm assuming a lot of that comes off the back of scouting when you look at like the difference between like Team Liquid the week prior against a worse team versus a better team. The things that Core JJ was doing one week were amazing and the next week are in. So maybe we've gotten away with individuals pushing up as far as they were or scouting for vision in the way that they were prior to this. So then the second we faced a team that was clicking on the right day, it fell apart. But we need to clean that up for this series, and we've had 2 weeks now of just prep time and scrim time, and like we've known that we're going to face Shopify. Obviously, you don't go into practice with like one specific team in mind when you're going on these playoff runs. Yes, there are individual things that you're probably going to tweak, but like there are set mechanics and set core principles that I guarantee Golden Glue and Spooks are going through with these guys to really get down, knowing when to push your advantages, regardless of who the opponent is. Like for Sniper, knowing what matchups he should really be split pushing with, knowing that when we have 2 people with TP up, that we should be spreading out the map if our comp allows it. Like, I want to see these things get cleaned up, and this first best of 5 against Shopify is going to be really important to determine how far it looks like we'll be able to get in this playoff run. If we don't look good here, it's going to be trouble, but we got to focus on this series first. I think Shopify's weakest point, obviously, is our biggest strength as well, which continues to be Palafox versus Quid. I think that Quid should be able to get exponential leads here. Palafox is not going to be a player I think that you really punish in lane like to an extreme, to the point where it's so overwhelming that they lose. I mean, go back to our prior series, the freaking Xerath game is the one you look at. It's like, yeah, Quid got advantages in lane, sure, and Palafox went down a good amount of CS, but Palafox still found a way to be useful. I want to see Quid continue to do that to him, continue to push that stuff in, and then we use that advantage as a team and come together rather than falling apart at individual moments after that. Bot lane is another one where I think we are in a very advantageous position relative to them. Seos and B-Boy have not looked great. B-Boy, honestly, not looking that great at all. FBI, while he's had some moments, or well, I guess our bot lane in general, we've had moments where we do take 2v2s that we probably shouldn't. We get a little bit behind in lane, have to use early pots. They still put out a ridiculous amount of damage. I think FBI is still one of the best ADCs in the league right now in terms of his efficiency in game, whether it's efficiency in putting out damage, whether it's efficiency in making sure that he's getting gold. Like, it feels like FBI is rarely the reason that like we are losing games. You're not seeing him get caught out in the same way that players on other teams in that position are, but he does have to be careful. B-Boy randomly has these games and series where he pops off. And the final thing that I will note for this series and for this playoff run in general is that this is now going to be, like, weirdly enough, the team that will have the most amount of best of 5s played after this weekend this year in 2. Yeah, well, actually, no, we'll be tied. Never mind, because Team Liquid lost, so this will be their 3rd. Never mind. That stat's irrelevant. I don't even know why I said that. Point is, I was trying to get to the fact that we have a lot better champion diversity than most. It might not have shown itself like this split with best of threes and best of fives. I know we haven't looked great, but like you think back to some of the weird, unique picks that we've been able to pull out in the past. You look at like the Aatrox mid if they have a Scion for some reason. You look at the Shaco Vigar. Like there are interesting, specifically mid jungle duos that we can combine together. I don't think we need to fall so flat on like the Nefiri Talia, like these stock standard meta picks. Like when 100 Thieves, when this roster was at its best, we were just doing some off the wall things, hands checking people and getting the most of it while still not dying in those disadvantageous positions where somebody's pushing out to get vision or isolated in a lane. I want to see us have that creativity in draft. Like that's, I think, our biggest unique advantage over every other team is that we play so many weird freaking picks that can work. The Aurelia, I know, is going to be lamented by many, but I'm going to be real with you. This is my secret. Sniper, and I told him this whenever I was in Sven's chat for Sven's stream the other day, and Sniper was in there too. Dude, pick the Aurelia again. Do it. Do it. Like, don't be scared to. Just because it lost once and I get he played it bad, fine. In a best of 5, and like if we go up 1-0, pull out the Aurelia. Why not? Throw him for a curveball. Like, even though they know that you can play it, like people are going to be under the assumption now they're like, oh, they played it, it's not going to work. They're probably going to draft more standard as they go in. Don't lose our uniqueness in this playoffs. If we're playing well, we're playing well. If we're playing bad and it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. I think we had 2 weeks to prep for this. I think we should have won the first one. I think there is a difference between the two of us. And as much as it sucks for the league in general because we deserve some extended series at this point, I think this one's a 3-0 in our favor. I really do. I'll take a 3-1 and accept that, but if it goes to 5 games, I'm terrified of what's to come and not going to be happy at all. If we lose, you're about to watch the greatest crash out of all time next week, and I hope it never happens. Positive vibes only, folks. One series at a time, one game at a time, 5 weeks, and we're at MSI. Let's do it.